Well, I got a couple of tires I need to change out. I'm getting rid of one of the cars. My kid's been borrowing my Buick for years, and we just put brand new tires on it, and then he went out and got another car, and basically I'm just gonna let this one go. But these are beautiful 14-inch tires that'll fit on one of the Datsun trucks, so I'm not going to get my value out of them selling the car, so I'm going to mount just some other half-ass 14-inch tires I have. So I figured, you know, hey, as long as I'm pulling this out, this is just the Harbor Freight tire changer. And I've done some other videos before. It was a long time ago when I had didn't have as good a camera and stuff like that. Let's just move in here a little bit and show you what I did to this. Okay. So if you look here, I cleaned up the painter on there. Normally you just bolt it together. What I did was I ground the paint off there, bolted together. I should have painted it again, but you know, I don't care. So then I welded it together, okay, and then that way I don't have any problem with it flexing and stuff like that, you know. And so one thing I also wanted to show here, this is how I have it anchored down, okay. These are just some 3/4 inch head bolts. I think they're 1/2 by 13. You know, and I just used a masonry drill bit, drilled in and sunk those anchors in, so the threads stay in the ground. And so then when I put this in place, I just get it close, get that started, kind of get it straight up, get a few threads started in each one, and then just tap them down with the impact. You don't have to yank them down hard or anything, like just tap them down. Hand tight with a wrench would be plenty too. So it's just nice and convenient. I leave the bolts in here, and I just pick it up, carry it out to the shed like that, and just store it out there with the bolts in it. So, you know, this whole job, it's taken all day because I've been delayed and stuff like that. But the reality is I could have done all these tires in under 45 minutes. But that doesn't include any balancing. Okay, so we'll see how far I get here. I got a buddy coming over, and progress will stop. But okay, so this is just a valve stem tool. You know, bicycle riders have and that kind of stuff. You can get the ones that, you know, they come on a valve cap. Has a valve cap. This is just a whole lot easier to work with. So we're gonna break the bead first. This has a couple different positions. The further back in you put it, the more leverage you get, the more travel you need. You move it out to here. This tire shouldn't cause any grief. And part of the thing is too is the angle at which it goes down there. So my shop's a little more crowded than usual. I'm pushing down kind of slow because I didn't wait for all the air to come out. So that's pretty much done right there. A lot of times you can just get lucky there and push it the rest of the way down. You want to make sure the whole thing's off the bead there. And we'll flip it over. And with this being a new tire, it's fairly easy. But if you notice what happened there, because I've got it back here at the angle, it puts this bar at more of an angle going into the tire bead. When it's straight up and down, it has more of a tendency to not push under the rim. It would sit on the tire and then kind of roll over as the sidewall gave. So if you can keep it on the inside here, it will work to your advantage. Because you want it to get in there and catch that bead. Get this pin right here. Now I've got some foam shoved in there to try to help keep that thing centered. And it is bent. You know, I've also bent that breaker bar thing there. Oh. So you run that rod through one of the holes, and then you want to get the rim semi-centered there. Now, You can put it on that way. I don't care to do it that way because then all the contact's just on the points. I like to put it on that way because then it gets tighter in on the center. Now, I've got an old bearing race here, okay? And what I use that for is when I've got nice rims, okay, that I really don't want to mark up, I will put this on first, okay? Then I'll put that down. And then that spreads the load around, you know, the full circle of the bearing race instead of just these 4 points. These rims are most likely going to end up in the scrapyard, so who cares? So the hole up top here is threaded. You got a big-ass bolt running up in here, and this thing is what tightens it down and holds it, okay? So you can just put it on there and spin it down. Now you want to make sure you get it somewhat tight when you crank it down, okay? That's pretty good and tight, because what happens is if you don't get it very tight, the tire turns. Tire turns, you have a tendency to bend this rod. So now pick a spot. I tend to kind of work closer to where the valve stem is, okay? And what you're looking to do is you're looking to push the rubber down there so that you can get the tip in here, okay? You see that, you know, you don't want to put it in here because then it just has to pull that out that much farther, okay? So you put it in like this. You want to make sure that it's up fairly close to the stop there. And by doing it here at the valve stem, when I start peeling it off, I don't have to try to lift this bead up over that valve stem. It won't get caught. If I started over here and tried to do it, the tire would still be tight on the rim and it'd catch on this valve stem and give me some grief. If you're using a power tire changer, no problem. They just muscle right through that stuff. But doing this manually, some tires can get pretty darn tight. So anyway, just walking around, and if it doesn't want to do that, if it doesn't want to start, that's where this bar comes in. Okay, you'll go in and you'll get it stuck and flip it over and hold it there, and then that way as you keep walking this one around, that one will make sure that the tire doesn't fall back over the edge of the rim. Okay, not an issue on this one. Most tires, it really won't be an issue. So now, yeah, see, I pushed down on it hard enough there, it started to stick to the other bead. Okay, and had it stuck too much, I'd have had to take it off, put it on the ground, and break that bead again. Luckily, it wasn't. So now stick it in, and you want to catch underneath, lift the tire up to where it hits, you know, that notch right there, okay? And then walk it up a little bit. Now we'll see if it just, yeah, see, that works just fine. All right, that one's off. Now let's move it over here. So before I put it, if all I was doing is unmounting, I'd be done. Let me go get another tire and we'll put it on. So there's the tire, another 14-inch. Decent tread. I really don't care. These were takeoffs from something else. They are kind of nice, but they're worn enough and old enough that I don't really want to put them back on anything else. So I want to take a peek, make sure that I don't have any tears, rips in the bead or anything like that. Now if you do have this is a tire burnishing tool, okay, and they use these at the tire shops and that stuff. And I've just got it hooked to a die grinder, and it's just a, I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's just a grinding wheel, and it's great for grinding rubber. You hook it up and you run that around and use that to clean up any of the rust and the crap in the bead. Okay. On the rim, you would use a wire wheel. Not this. You would not use this on steel. These are nice and clean, so I'm not going to have to worry about that. And I don't know. I think my Ruglide might be empty. I don't use this often enough, and since it tends to evaporate, or that tub has a leak, I'm only going to put a little bit in. But there's the Ruglide I'm talking about. Now when I bought this, I think the bucket came with the stand. I just spilled it on the ground, but oh well. Okay. So I'm just gonna, you can see that, I'm tilting the bucket over so I can get the brush all nice and wet and everything. Now I want black wall up. Okay, so I'm gonna just take the applicator here and just wipe it around. And this is a leather conditioner and a lubricant. Okay, I don't have to worry about getting too much up in here, but you can if you just if they're real old or something like that. And you just reach through the backside there and give it a little angle, and that lubes up the backside as well. Oh, physical labor. This stuff sucks. So same thing. I want to start at the valve stem here, and I'm going to push it down around just to get it started. And a lot of times you can get the first side on there because of the way the bead is. A lot of times you can pop that thing down without having to use the bar here or not. So now this side of the bar, okay, that's for putting it down. You lift the tire up here so you can get some space here. Now lift the tire up, put the bead right kind of in the little V there, okay? And what we're looking to do is get that V on the tire there. There we go. Okay. I want that tire in the V, and I want to push the bead down here because it's got to go under the lip of the metal here for the tire to get the room to go over the outside of the bead, because the hole in the center of the tire is a whole lot smaller than the outside diameter of this rim. So you're stretching it over, and the only way you're going to get that extra distance is to have it under that bead. Okay. You pull it down, make sure that it stays under the bead. If it stops on the bead, you're going to not be able to stretch it far enough. So there's that. So now you can use almost anything you want to fill these back up. Now I do not have the valve stem in here. Sometimes it's hard to seat the tire. You need a bigger blast of air. Okay, I don't think that's going to be the case this time, but I like this tire thing. This is also from Harbor Freight because it's got a clamp here that holds that on. Now you can hear it's just leaking around, okay? So I'll give it a little push to try to get the bottom to seal a little bit, and then I'm going to lift the tire up just a little. There, see that? That was all it took to get it to catch. That popping is the bead popping over the extra lip there and seating. Still got some to go over here. There we go. And that did it at about 15 pounds. Okay. Sometimes you get way up to close to 30, but stock tires, stuff like that, they're usually not too bad. This tire takes max load at 44 psi. So I'm just going to set it to 40. There we go. Oh, forgot about that. Stick it in the tool first, hold it like that, and then stick it down in, and that way the air doesn't just blow it right back out in your face. Alright, now let's finish filling it up. Yeah, we're still above 20. And I think I've got a couple other videos, old ones with the crappy resolution of the old camera and that stuff, and I think I'll add them to the end of this video because one is I had a much wider rim and I had to get a little creative with getting the tires on. Okay. So I'll throw those on at the end to show you a couple of the other options to get them on. This went on real easy. You know, sometimes you can put a rope around, tighten it up, put a tie down strap on it, tighten it up. That never really seems to work out very well for me, but anyway, this one's done. I think on the next one, minimal talking, if any, and I'll just go through the procedure and record that, and let's do one real time. The only thing I've done ahead of time is I already took the valve out and let all the air out. Okay, so we'll try it this time with the valve stem in it. The other thing you want to do too is get rid of the wheel weights. I'm not driving this in the car anymore, so I really don't care. So Alright, let's see if we can get the bead seated this time. This is one where it's seated on the front but not on the back. So I'm hoping to push down on the rim with the other three tires holding it up and get enough of a seal. Yeah, how about that? Only works though if you get one bead sealed. And the starting fluid method got that done, so come on. Wow, stubborn foot. Oh, we're almost up to 30 pounds. Usually, there we go. Usually they pop on down closer to 20 or so, but all right, there we go. Oh, I ran the hose down through the center. It's just a whole lot easier to get at. Alright, this is going to be rather exciting. This, they do this on the trail. It's for stretching the tires and make the beads pop. I've got it mounted in my tire rotisserie, but as you can see, there's no way to blast enough air in there at home or down at the tire shop. They've got air jets that come up under on the machine that can do it, but for here, can't do it. So what we're going to do is research this. Don't friggin' I'm afraid to even put this up, but there's a bunch of these on YouTube. So this is either going to be a how I did it or how I died. One of the two. So anyway, I put the rim on upside down because the taper of the rim leaves a much smaller hole. On the front side, right here, it curves in for the lip that you see on the front side, and that leaves a much bigger gap. And I tried it a half dozen times, couldn't get it to go. Once I turned it over, it popped right away and scared the hell out of me. So we'll try it again without the girly screams. So then you can also run it up over the edge so that so I didn't quite get it tight enough, and the challenge is that it's got a seal, and then you got to grab the air hose and fill it back up with air. And since I didn't, since I dropped the ball on that, we'll try it again. Okay, so now, see how the tire's sucking itself back down in? You got to get the air back in fast enough that it doesn't. Get on there. There we go. Get the air back in fast enough so it doesn't pull itself back off the bead like it did the last time I tried it. And basically what happens is the starting fluid burns itself out without igniting the rubber, so there's no fuel left in there to burn. That's why you pump the air back in to fill it up so it doesn't collapse on itself. But it, you know, you're you're not really feeding the fire. You're giving it its oxidizer, but not its fuel. So that's took me a while to kind of figure out why it wasn't making the fire even worse and blowing the tire up. But that's basically all it is.